What's up, guys? Another Sabbath Torah reading. This one's on Passover. As you guys know, as many of you guys know, I read like one or two, normally two chapters out of the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, on Sabbath days. Normally Friday evenings after it's dark, and it just so happened that I was only 1 week off from doing Exodus 11 and 12 on Passover. In Exodus 12 is the Passover chapter. That's why last week I did Exodus 7 and 8 Friday night, and then Saturday I did Exodus 9 and 10. So I did 4 last week. But this week it's Passover, and I'm doing Exodus 11 and 12. Here's Exodus 11. Now Yahweh said to Moses, "One more plague I will bring on Pharaoh and on Egypt. After that, he will let you go from here. When he lets you go, he will surely drive you out from here completely. Speak now in the hearing of the people, that each man ask from his neighbor, and each woman from her neighbor, for articles of silver and articles of gold. Yahweh, the Lord, gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Furthermore, the man Moses himself was greatly esteemed in the land of Egypt, both in the sight of Pharaoh's servants and in the sight of the people." And if you remember, Egypt is a representation of the world. What happens before will happen again. And there's a lot of prophecies that speak about Egypt, and it's actually talking about the whole world in the end times. And Pharaoh is a representation of God the Father, and Moses a representation of Yeshua, Jesus. Furthermore, the man Moses himself was greatly esteemed in the land of Egypt, both in the sight of Pharaoh's servants, the angels, and in the sight of the people. Moses said, "Thus says Yahweh, about midnight." And midnight is really interesting. I don't know for sure, but scripturally, it seems that Yeshua is going to be returning around midnight. Now, a lot of people are going to say, no man knows the day or the hour. But I do believe it will be midnight Jerusalem time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern. Moses said, "Thus says Yahweh, about midnight I'm going out into the midst of Egypt." God said, "I'm going out into the midst of Egypt, into the world. And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, who sits on his throne, even to the firstborn of the slave girl who is behind the millstones, all the firstborn of the cattle as well. Moreover, there shall be a great cry in all the land of Egypt, such as there has not been before, and such as shall never be again. And that day, when this happens, a great earthquake happens, 100-pound hailstones, coals of fire and brimstone. That day, there's going to be a great cry, the whole world. But against any of the sons of Israel, a dog will not even bark, whether against man or beast, that you may know, or that you may understand how the Lord, how Yahweh makes a distinction between Egypt and Israel. if you look at it prophetically, how the Lord makes a distinction between the world and his people. We're supposed to be separate from the world. We're not of the world. We're not supposed to be living according to the ways of the world or focusing on the things of the world. Yahweh is going to make a separation between the world and his people. All these your servants, this is still Moses talking, all these your servants will come down to me and bow themselves before me. It's like Jesus. Everyone's going to bow to him. Every knee is going to bow. Every tongue is going to confess that Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, is Lord. All these your servants will come down to me and bow themselves before me, saying, Go out, you and all the people who follow you. And after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in hot anger. Then the Lord, Yahweh, said to Moses, Pharaoh will not listen to you, so that my wonders will be multiplied in the land of Egypt. Moses and Aaron performed all these wonders before Pharaoh. Yet Yahweh hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the sons of Israel go out of his land. That's the end of Exodus 11. May God bless you guys.